Alright guys, I plugged in the Nexus Player, got our remote handy. Let's take a look at this boot up process. Google, some spinning orbs, which go into the Android logo. Very nice. Looking for the remote. So, it's got the remote. Wants us to sync it. Okay, let's just press the play and circle buttons. There we go. Remote synced. Now, I will say before we get into this next step, that's not the most intuitive process. Roku, my Amazon Fire TV, they recognize the remotes immediately. It's a little odd that I had to sync the remote to the new device, but it is what it is. So, English. You can see the Wi-Fi networks in the area. And I'm going to focus off screen for a second for me to enter my Wi-Fi password. So that setup process, well, so far fairly seamless. Like I said, that needing to sync the remote bit, though a minor gripe, is a bit frustrating for me, just because it's such a seamless process with other devices. So for those who know me, you will know how much I hate the streaming media systems with the need for clicking back and forth. So now it's going to go ahead and connect to our Wi-Fi. I hate the click, 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 enter, click, 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 enter. I think it's an incredibly antiquated way of interacting with a machine. So it's doing an Android 5.0 system update very quickly. And it's going to go ahead and install that update. Just as a side note, I do think that that's something we are going away from, the constant clicking back and forth, click, enter, click, 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 enter. That process, I think, has worn its course. It's not intuitive. They've tried doing controllers. Other devices out there, like the Sony units, have keyboards built in. The keyboards are small. They're not very nimble. I almost find the click, 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 enter, back and forth process faster than using the smaller keyboards for entering information, but it doesn't make me like it. It's just one of those lesser of two evils situations. So, interestingly enough, that this has to do a system update, an Android upgrade out of the box, considering it only shipped this week. So, however, the Fire TV did do an update the moment it was hooked up as well, so I can't say much about that. It's just the nature of keeping things up to date, and I'd much prefer to have it do it now and get things set up to start properly than later. So we'll reboot here with the update applied. At least it's automating this process and not making me do it manually. As soon as it detected the internet connection and was logged into it, it did its thing. So there we go, Android. Finishing boot, and welcome. Sign into Google. So, got to enter your PIN to log in real quick. We'll go ahead and log that in on the computer, and we'll be right back. Okay, and just to show you, just come to the computer. I'm using my phone to record. I would have just used my phone for it, but you enter the code that shows up on the TV, and then Google will go ahead and allow you to connect the device to your account. So just follow the prompts. And you're done. That simple. Now at that point the TV is updated, or I should say the device is updated. Continuing, agree to the terms of service, of course. Yes, we actually like Google's location-based services. So finish. Straight to it, straight to business. So navigation is mostly fluid. Some delay when you click on things. I won't say that it's as speedy as it is with Fire TV. That processor in the Fire TV is definitely doing its job. So we'll just grab Game of Thrones really quick. I'm not sure if I have to have HBO Go. So you can buy a season pass for $28.99 or $3 an episode, which considering actually isn't all that bad. So let's go back real quick. So menu system allows you to, hey, they know me. My TV shows. So my TV shows, new movie releases, popular. This menu so far is more intuitive than the newly updated Netflix that just gives you the ribbons of their choice and no menu of all to do any of your own searching. So I like this better. I can see the menus and selections within those categories. There's obviously a lot more choices. 99-cent movies, sports, new movie rentals. A whole Star Wars section. Major props there. Love that. Comedies, Avengers Assemble. They did a good job. I am curious, but curiously enough, all of these shows or movies are things that I have interacted with lately. I am curious if this Orphan Black the other day, I just checked out a couple more episodes of it. I went and looked up some information on Salem because I want to start watching it. I watched the trailer for AD. We actually just looked up last night some more information on the end of Mad Men. Citizen 4, obviously, Edward Snowden. What's funny is all of these shows and movies that it's showing in here so far, except that one, are things that I've actually interacted with in the last few days via the internet or watched. Curiously enough, so it makes me wonder if Google is sourcing information it knows about me for that. If that is the case, this would be a use case example of why the amount of information that Google tracks on us can be great, because I'm not getting anything that doesn't mildly interest me or a lot. None of this is random crap like I get on Netflix all the time. No matter how much time I've spent rating things on Netflix, Netflix is constantly packed with suggestions of stuff I would never in my wildest dreams watch. And so far, at least since they did their last update. And so far, this is, I mean, spot on to things that I enjoy watching or have an interest in. So, very interesting. So, TV genres, you can search. I like the, not sure, I like the look, the flat look, obviously. I'm not necessarily sure I am fond of the logos they chose for each. But I love that there's a learning and education. Oh, sweet, an entire category of shows I'll never watch, reality shows. And then, obviously, independent, Indian cinema, if you like some Bollywood, music, mystery and suspense, short films, sports, world cinema. I definitely like the setup much better. Obviously, once again, it is a streaming service. So what you're going to get here is a large selection of stuff to buy. Not much I see in the way of free content as far as that's concerned. I will take a look and see. I don't know that any other services are offered on here other than just the Google Play. I don't see anything for apps. So I don't see the ability to run, for example, Prime TV or Netflix or anything other than strictly Google TV or Android TV, excuse me, on the platform. That's not necessarily something I'm knocking it for. I just find that as a whole, a streaming player tends to be more appealing, mass market-wise, when it provides consumers with more options. Obviously, the Roku has a head start on everybody. It's not my favorite at all, but it has a head start, and because of that, it has an unbelievable number of applications and services that it supports, and because of that, it is by far the most. It is the runaway favorite as far as media players are concerned. So obviously, you're going to get solely the stuff that is on Google through their entertainment here. No apps, no games, no additional stuff. Obviously, there remains to be seen if that's going to expand over time. But what you've got right now, as it is just this TV and movies. Search. So far, there's a search button, and that brings up. There we go. Oh, and it's totally voice-based. I didn't even have a chance to type it in. And it picked up everything I said. Let's try. GoldenEye. Obviously, it's very responsive and accurate so far. So, Breakfast Club. Awesome. One thing that is good about this that I do like, even though they're not free, unlike Netflix, that because of their content arrangements with so many of the different movie studios and networks, at least 60% of my searches end up being no-goes on Netflix. They're like, they know exactly what I'm looking for before I even finish typing it, but they recommend a bunch of other stuff because they don't have what I'm looking for. And I find that more and more every day on Netflix. I'll want to see something, I'll look for it, and they'll tell me we don't have it, but here's some other stuff you might like. So far, I was just going to actually check for 16 Candles. Let's take a look. Pet Cemetery. Spot on, not a single thing so far. Life. Let's try a difficult one. Okay, so that is a generic term. So, but there it is. So, I mean, so many things with the word life in it that left a lot more for it to search for. But sure enough, easily accessible. Great show that got discontinued, so I figured that would be a good, The Unit. A good metric to test, and there it is. Bam, spot on. So far I'm very impressed with the voice search and menu system and functionality. I wish there was a little more support for additional content, such as, some other services like Netflix, things like that. But that remains to be seen. Games and apps, Android-based games and apps as well. So far, that's where we are. Welcome to the world of the Nexus Player Android TV device by Asus. And if you got questions, comments, feel free to post them in the links below. Thanks.